us Serbs look.
You don't look very Russian. You don't look very Russian. You look more Western than you do. Russian.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been told I look more Middle Eastern than anything.
No, you look more like. I'd say you edge on like the Italian side than you do. Like, the Russian side, the Eastern side. Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
All right. That's not bad.
Like you don't have the sharpness of the like that Russian side. You know what I mean? Like the nose is kind of like, I feel more bendy than it is like
theirs.
Yeah. I feel like Russian and like the Eastern European is a lot more like pointy, sharpy. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my nose isn't as like. You know what it is as well? Mine is more just like straight. A lot of theirs is usually like bulgy here. A lot of them have bulges here. Like the like real Eastern European type of people usually have like a bulge there.
I'm just thinking of most Russian people, and they're like more like, I guess their faces are more squarey. Like, you know, yours you have quite a slim face. You have quite a slim face.
Out of the Eastern Europeans, the Russians are more square shaped. Like
I'm just thinking of like Khabib, you know.
But that's Middle Eastern sort of mixture with Russian.
Yeah, I know.
Because they're like Dagestani and like.
But it's still Eastern European, you know.
Is it? That's why I was I'm not even joking. That's funny that you brought this up now. That's coming into conversation now. Are those?
Or was it planned?
Yeah, bro. I actually planned all this. I planned all this. Fuck! Shut up.
Did I want to bring this up?
Shut up. If you're like Dagestani, I know it's part of like Russia. Or the Russian Peninsula. I don't even know what they were fucking define it. Is Dagestan? Yeah, it's a part of it. It's a state or a region in Russia, right? Yeah. Does that still make them Slavic? Because they to me look more like Middle Easterners, and to me,
they look very.
Are they like? Yes, I know they're Russian, and Russians are defined as Slavic, but there's definitely heaps of different religious and traditional and cultural groups within Russia, which is like which makes you realize that it's not everyone that's from Russia is a Slav.
Definitely not. Like it's they. If you told
I'm not gonna say like an Asian guy from fucking that was born in Serbia is Slavic.
How crazy?
He's Serbian.
How crazy is it though that like how close those guys are to like then Asia?
Well, half of Russia is in Asia.
I know, that's what I mean. So, but they're not. They don't look anything like Asians.
You'd be surprised. Have you ever seen like those Eastern Russians?
No, I mean
the ones that mixed with the Mongols and stuff like the mixed with the Mongols in the early ages.
No, I don't.
A lot of them are Russian looking. Russian. No shit. Asian looking.
Yeah, okay.
Like they have,
but it's weird, don't you?
Like, have you ever seen anyone from like native Siberians?
No, but do you know what's weird? It's like for some reason the darkest Asians are the further north Asians.
That's because of the equator.
No, but then like it gets lighter. But then when you go into Russia, it's light again.
There's reasons for the whole fair-skinned Asian thing, and depending on which country. From what I was told from a Chinese woman was that only some of the Asian countries. Well, obviously, like apparently a few. I've heard different mixed stories. One person told me that all of them value fair skin, and that it's like a sign of wealth because it's like, well, the reason you have fair skin is because you're inside the house. Yeah, you're not working in the rice paddies or mines, whatever. Yeah. But she told me that not all of the Asian countries really value it. Only like the Chinese, Koreans, and the Japanese. Yeah. And which are called like the wealthier Asian countries.
They're the Western Japan.
They're the westernized Asians.
Yeah, they're the ones that are like.
Right.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, they're the snobby ones.
Right.
But like,
yeah, for sure.
But you're like Malaysians, you're Singapore.
Yeah,
they're like they value the dirt.
It's smaller countries.
They value the dirt. You know.
Well, it's funny because I'd say like Singapore is way cleaner than like.
Yeah, which is strange. Hey, strange. Like, well,
but that's because it's not strange.
Japan's very clean.
Japan is clean, but it's not as clean as Singapore.
I know what you mean.
Because in Singapore, there's like strict rules of like you'll get like your hand.
But Japan is more clean based on the virtues of their citizens, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Singapore is clean based on the like strict rules.
Well, because to the Japanese, it's like it's shameful. You know, and they, a lot of their culture. See, look at native Siberians. You tell me that kid doesn't look fucking Asian.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've got
They
the
look
mix
like-
the Mongols.
They look like
Eurasian. They're Eurasians.
They look like the Native Americans.
right.
They look like Native
Do you know why?
Americans.
You know why you're so correct about this?
No.
Because in the early
That's
stages
several, I
of
think.
humanity, if you actually go back and look at the DNA samples, the Native Americans have the most relation to the Siberians in Russia.
Well, it'd be pretty close. Aren't they pretty close?
Well,
Like,
no.
Aren't they just like over there?
They are somewhat close, yes. But back in the days of Pangaea, that all used to be together.
That's what I mean. Like,
So
it's the
all
boat,
those
it's the boat.
tribes were across
'Cause
one thing.
They're at that
Right.
side of the map. They're at that side. Surely you just
Right.
go that way, right? You wouldn't go like
Right,
you wouldn't go all the way over
right,
there.
right.
You just go like,
Right.
right.
Well, no, it was all one connection. So
I know
it was
you.
like
Yeah,
they-
I know.
they
But I'm
didn't
just
need to
I'm
be-
saying if you look
they
at a map
split off
though, if you look at a
eventually.
map.
Oh
Russia
yeah,
was on the
yeah. You don't
right.
have to go. You
America.
don't have to go through
Yeah,
Europe to
yeah.
get to America. You
Yeah.
go to America.
You go right.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just go
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. So like, you
Yeah.
can see where like
Yeah.
it comes from. Okay, no, that makes more sense. But that's what
But
I mean.
that's only if the world is spheric.
True. I forgot, and it is flat. So they
If
do
you
have
just
to go.
if you go to the right of Russia, you just fall off.
Yeah. That's why no one goes to the.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why no one even lives in the Siberian shit.
Same with,
Everyone's
like-
like, it's cold.
same
It's
with
like
Alaska.
it's not cold.
Same
Okay.
with Alaska. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually
Bro.
that's why America just have that extra little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're keeping it secret from Canada. Canada can't know because Canada would let the
Well,
world
no,
know.
yeah, because Canada will let the world know that you just fall off.
Yeah, but the Americans,
Yeah.
they're in with the Russians. See, the Americans and the Russians
Well, if
working
it-
together.
Dude, if you think about it, throughout the ages, the countries that have lied the most about things most recently, other than the British Empire throughout the years,
Well, yeah, we're stuck in the middle. We're
yeah.
stuck.
Well, you guys are past liars. You guys are getting better now. You guys are gentlemanly now. You guys speak out the truth. Okay, some of you. But Americans,
we still have a queen or king now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But his pedophilia is out in the open.
And we don't like talking
Yeah.
about Saudi Arabia and our links with them. We keep that.
No,
in fact, we give them football.
You
clubs.
guys got rid of slavery ages ago.
We give them
You don't
football
support
clubs.
it anymore.
We don't.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
legal.
Well, did you see another thing I heard on a podcast was speaking of the Saudi Arabians, but I'll get to that after. But what I was trying to say was the Russians and the Americans have been lying to us for the longest time.
Yeah,
The moon landing, the whole Cold War situation, they were telling each other constant lies.
What's your opinion on the moon landing?
It's fake.
You reckon?
100%. I actually had a fucking discussion with a guy yesterday, and he's like, so you're gonna discredit thousands of people that worked in this? And I was like, and he's like, why would they all lie? And I was like, not all of them have to lie.
Do you know, it's a weird one for me. I have no idea.
They'll get this.
You know,
Dude.
you know that's one thing. That and 9/11.
Oh,
And
dude, I don't even have to look.
The
Okay.
9/11 is more believable to me.
That's
right?
what I'm
Like
gonna
that-
say.
But
I'm
at the end
gonna
of the day-
say
at the
this.
end of the day, I don't know.
I'm gonna say
be,
this.
I'm too naive.
I'm gonna
too
say
naive.
this. I personally believe more. I believe more that 9/11 was an inside job than I believe that the moon landing was fake. So
Yeah, I agree,
if someone
I
put
agree,
the
I
two
agree,
up
I agree,
against
I agree,
me,
I agree.
I'd be like 9/11 for sure was done.
I agree.
The moon landing is hard. Okay.
The moon landing, yeah, because I'm just like NASA.
Let me give
and
you-
I think
okay,
back
I'm
then
gonna
as
give you
well. The rivalry between America and them back
The Cold
then
War, right.
makes me think that maybe
Right, because the Russians sent out a dog into space, and they were honest about it. They were like, oh, actually, no, they lied, actually.
probably.
They lied. They did send a dog into space, but they lied about how far the dog got and stuff like that. Laika, you know?
Yeah.
They said that the dog went up there, rotated around the Earth twice, and then brought back.
The moon, you mean?
No. This was when they first flew out something into space.
yeah.
Because that's how it started. First they flew it. That's why the Americans wanted to get into the moon. Because it was such an impossible feat for the Russians that they were attempting that they couldn't do. That the Americans were like, we'll get a man. Because they apparently both got ships to the moon or crash landed there. But
Because the thing that really baffs me, right, is surely we have cameras and like telescopes, like
well,
strong enough
okay, let me explain this. Okay.
No, but to see would the flag still be there?
Look, okay.
Would the flag? Wait, would the flag still be there?
People say it would, but people say that the color would be dyed off because of space and
Yeah, but okay, you could still see a flag though, right?
Right.
Surely we have cameras good enough to see, or telescopes good enough to see that now.
These are the okay. Let's.
So actually, I'm back on the. I'm with you now. It's fake.
Dude, okay, let me explain my reason of believing it's fake. The whole Cold War situation and why they were trying to do it. Russia was lying the whole time. Why wouldn't America lie? Then there's the whole flag situation with the video and stuff. They're saying, like, why is the flag waving so much? There's not that much wind.
I believe there's no wind, but like I believe that there's reasons why that
there
is
is.
the case.
There is,
Right,
which I found that case and I was like, okay, that's debunked. That's fair.
Yeah.
But there is a few other speculations and like,
who's recording?
it's sort of no. It's not that. That's not that crazy.
Bro.
That's not that crazy.
Who's recording the first steps, bro?
That's not that crazy.
Someone? It wasn't Buzz. Buzz has already been on the moon.
Buzz Aldrin, bro.
Yeah, the one
he was second.
No, wasn't he the one that stayed in the fucking?
Yeah, he was the one that was. He stepped in. He was the second man on the moon.
Yeah, because whoever had the recorder was the first.
No, Lance Armstrong.
No. See, Lance Armstrong was second because whoever had the camera was first.
No, dude.
It's like you know the guy that did the Man vs Wild, Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
How everyone's always like,
Yeah.
who's the cameraman doing all the shit that he's doing with the camera in his hand? He's the first man. He's the man we should be respecting, bro. But anyway, I agree with you now because how the fuck are we not seeing the cameras? Surely there's cameras now good enough,
right,
to be like that's where the fucking flag
is. And also, Lance Armstrong, fakest name ever.
Same as the cyclist.
Yeah, and they both cheated.
That's what I mean. So, there's so many links. Maybe it's the same guy.
Might be using the same guy for propaganda.
They're like, first we're gonna get you to the moon, then you're gonna become a pro cyclist, and then.
And 9/11, and people are like, there's different. Look, with the moon one, it's hard to say. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to say. I myself doubt myself often, but with 9/11, I don't even doubt myself. I 100% know that was. And people are like, why would the American government kill their own people? What?
Yeah, that's.
Are you serious? Like they haven't done that before?
Yeah, that's
like they didn't have slavery for so long.
That's not.
And then after slavery, like they didn't test. They didn't have African Americans as test subjects for syphilis and all this other shit. Like they didn't continuously send their people into the fucking random wars just to make money. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, that's not really that. I don't know what the argument for it being.
And they're like, well, who would do it? What the people in the American government care about their people. Why would they let such a terroristic thing happen?
I tell you
because
what,
within every
Osama bin Laden is probably fuming that day.
Dude,
if he has nothing to do with it, he's like, fuck.
Dude, have you seen?
Wait. Do you think Osama bin Laden was happy that he was being like, this is your problem? Or do you think
no,
because think about the clout that he's getting. He's like, I didn't even do anything right now, bro.
No, I'm telling you, he didn't want that. You know why?
Because they're coming for him.
No,
I remember
originally.
I remember that day originally waking up
because
when Obama was in president, and he's just like, "Yeah, we're going to get him." Yeah. I remember that morning. That morning was fucking hilarious.
They got him.
And yeah, they went. They were like, and they were showing like cameras of like where like they went.
Yeah, where he is.
Yeah, and they just ran in.
You know the craziest thing is, before 9/11, Osama was actually in close conversation. It was funded by the American government, right?
Mm.
And then out of nowhere, apparently he decided to go against them out of nowhere. Yeah, right. I
don't know. Yeah.
Right? They needed a reason to go to a different country. They needed a reason to bring freedom. Freedom equals oil. Oil equals money.
Do you think though, like
Osama
bin Laden would have? I think I feel bad for him because he's now just a scapegoat.
Right.
But like,
he didn't even do it.
And maybe he's still alive though. Maybe they just kept him. Maybe if they've got that much of a deal with him, you know. Maybe he's somewhere off in like fucking Barbados or some shit. Right. And that's just Osama.
Right.
You know? I think that might be the case. Because if that all is true.
Do you think that's how Gavrila Princip felt when he killed Franz Ferdinand and World War I started? He just killed some random guy.
Do you know? I think,
and then one war escalated to another, and now to this day in history books they blame him for the start of the World War. But it's like, well, it wasn't. He didn't start it. Like he didn't go World War One.
Yeah, he wasn't planning.
No,
he
just planned to get rid of this motherfucker that was trying to take over his country, and he was like, cool, kill this guy. Now they want to attack. They attacked.
He probably was at the pub that night.
Right.
Fucking like, you'd never guess what I did today, lads.
Yeah, fucking.
Wait.
No, he got caught straight away. He got caught straight away.
Oh, really?
Because he tried to throw a bomb, failed. The attempt failed, and then because he didn't have the bomb anymore,
world was way
he ran
crazier
up
back
to the
then.
car and shot with a
I tell you
pistol.
what, Osama bin Laden would have been fine if Twitter was still a thing back then.
Because he could have just told him.
No, because like imagine Obama comes out and goes, "Yeah, guys, we're fucking raiding Osama bin Laden right now." Twitter would be going crazy. Twitter would be like, "No."
Twitter was around.
No, but I mean now, like what it is now. There'd be so many people like, "How dare they?" And they would be like,
Twitter was like that before as well.
No, back then people were like,
You don't think no
America
one was
were
supporting
free.
Osama?
No one was supporting Osama.
Yeah, there was. I was.
Yeah, but
I was in there. I was in the comments like, "Hey, yo, it was inside job. Why are you fucking killing this innocent man?"
Free my mans.
Free my mans?
Free my mans. Yeah, okay. Free my mans, Osama.
Also, you know what? There's another reason 9/11 was an inside job, and this is the funny one that people always bring up, which I don't know how true it is. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
I don't. I don't get. I don't.
You know what the crazy thing is? Fuck that theory, right? The theory that really made me believe it was people that have no reason to lie about it and that were in the building on the day, heard explosions happen before the plane hit.
And also like the fact that there's like no footage of the Pentagon. That shit's really confusing to me. Like,
and have you ever seen the one photo that they have? The one photo that they have of the Pentagon thing, it doesn't look like a plane.
Yeah, but like it also just the most
looks like a rocket.
The place with the most cameras ever.
Right.
Like it's just like you don't have footage to show everyone.
And you know, people are like, well, why would they do that? Like they love their people, they're patriots, they love their country. Why would they do so many fucked up things?
But the thing
How many things have the FBI and CIA hidden? Bro, the Kennedy thing. I can't wait for it to come out. You know why? Because the Kennedy thing is the original thing that started conspiracy theories. You know why? Because the word conspiracy theorist wasn't used until the Kennedy thing happened. Do you know why they invented the word? Because they didn't want people realizing that the Kennedy thing was an inside job. They killed Kennedy because he had so much control, because he had the mob backing him. So just like Donald Trump, they couldn't really fuck with him as much because Donald Trump had his own backing, right? That's why they couldn't make him do as much shit. But back in the day, my man's over here, became president and had the backing of the mob, which controlled all the businesses at the time, which the American government was like, fuck, like we can't mess with the mob directly. So guess what? Killed the guy, assassinated him.
I don't care.
And then made it seem like some insane guy did it for freedom of America.
I don't care about it that much because like at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect it doesn't affect me.
No, it doesn't affect me. It only affects me in a sense of like, because the thing about these theories is for years and years and years, they kept denying these things, right? And not just this theory, but so many other theories that the American government, like with the whole, like, you know, everyone was like, Alex Jones is crazy. Yeah, for sure Alex Jones is crazy. For sure, like 90% of the things that he theorizes are insane. But shit, man, sometimes he gets it right. Pizzagate, all of them motherfuckers is pedophiles.
Yeah, but a broken clock is right twice a day.
So?
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like if you just keep splurting out shit, you do.
Okay, I'm going to give you another analogy. I understand that.
But you can use better people that probably only talk about the correct conspiracies.
Joe Rogan?
Sure, why not use them if you want? But like, you can find people that use the correct. It's like you can talk about like Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
But he talks about But just because you talk about every single conspiracy, you're going to be right about one or two of them because you talk about every single one.
Okay, you want to compare? Okay, but that's fair. But just like comedians, like so many, there's like high volume comedians and comedians that are calculated. I think the people that are high volume comedians, for example, you notice it like in their podcasts, especially like people like Theo Von. Or like Chris D'Elia.
I think comedy is a bit different to conspiracy theories, though.
It's not. It's all coming from ideation, and it's all similar in a sense of like repetition and practice and things like.
Okay, but
I think do you know why I think?
But okay, then do you think like what?
Do you know
what Alex Jones?
But
what Alex Jones is doing, like did with all the Sandy Hook shit.
It creates links.
So okay, but with Alex, but what Alex Jones did with all the Sandy Hook shit.
Oh,
that's
not
the same. That's not the same as a comedy.
Okay, yeah, but you can say the same thing about Kobe. You want to go about Kobe then?
What about it?
Kobe is known for having some of the most shots out of any NBA player.
Yeah, that's a much better analogy. Yeah, no, that's a much better analogy.
Right? And yet he's also one of the top
conspiracy
scorers.
theories to comedy. What I'm saying is...
No, it's not, because what I'm trying to say
what I'm saying, when you're
shooting
Alex
at that
Jones-
point, you're linking things constantly. You're practicing.
Yeah, but then you just say shit like what Alex Jones is saying about Sandy Hook.
Yeah,
and
but
now
like-
he's fucking being sued for shit. Now he's been sued for shit tons of money.
$4 billion.
And he's been the shit because he's being a shit person about it. Because like actual strategies, you allow linking to problems.
But I'm not
It's a
talking
different thing.
about.
Yeah, no. But
I'm not talking about his approach with speaking, which got him in trouble. I'm talking about his theories. If he just went with the Sandy Hook thing, like they are actors, that's what I believe. I apologize if that may be wrong. I'll wait for it to, but this is what I believe. No one would have fucking batted an eye. But it's because he's coming. He's like, they're all actors. They're all actors. They're all faking the government. You know, like that's.
Yeah.
And clearly that's going to piss someone off, right?
Yeah.
So just like me with the 9/11 inside job thing, this is going to piss someone off just for the reason of me coming in and saying that the American government is corrupt and fucked up, and that they've done so many things before where you go, they would never, and they did. They did.
I don't think it'll piss that many people off, actually.
You know what? Let's say I hope this Russia-Ukraine thing resolves itself peacefully, because if it does resolve itself peacefully, then within the next 10 years, we're going to hear Americans, and we're already hearing it now from all the Joe Biden's sons fucking tapes and all that shit. They've been investing into Ukraine. They're working with NATO. There's a reason that this war started. There's a reason this war is going on. It's so like, I understand people like conspiracy theorists are insane conspiracy, but you need people like that. Because,
I'm not saying you don't.
because people that are that insane, even though sometimes they're wrong, they're at least willing to stand up and say something against it, while everyone else shuts the fuck up and is quiet.
Yeah, but at the same time, what is it like? Does it change anything?
Yes.
Like what?
It gives other people courage to say it too.
What does that fix?
What do you mean, what does that fix?
What does it fix?
Okay, I'll give you a great example. Yeah. We're living in Nazi Germany right now, me and you, right?
Yeah.
And neither of us are part of the Nazi party specifically.
Yeah.
But let's say we're deep. We're deep, and they've already like 5 years of propaganda of teaching.
And we're
kids.
We're Germans, or
we're Germans, and they're not going to plan to kill us anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right, but we're not going to war.
Especially me.
We're not.
Yeah, you look a bit sus.
Yeah, I'm a little bit.
You look a bit sus.
You know, like
You're on their watch list.
I'd have to get my nose redone.
You're on their watch list.
I'd have to get my nose redone.
I'm high on their list. They're looking at me to be a prime
and
Nazi.
lower intelligence. I'd need them to like skim my nose a bit, and also just hit me in the head a few times to lose a little bit of intelligence. Because I'm as smart as a Jew.
Yeah, if they see you making money, they're like, this guy. Stay poor.
We're in Nazi Germany, right? No one speaks up, nothing's happening, and then someone, like, let's say we're both standing there and we're walking by this fucking concentration camp, and we're like seeing these like Jewish people get mistreated, and you see this like, look, the only reason I'd ever really be like, caring would be if like I saw an absolute hottie, and I'd be like, that's a waste of talent right there. Why is she in a concentration camp? I'll concentrate on her.
Yeah.
I've
got all my concentration.
I'll be camp.
I'll be the opposite of camp.
And yeah, right. I'm leisure. And a part of you goes, it's kind of wrong, isn't it? It's kind of wrong because and I was obviously joking just about the woman, but like, let's say you see whatever kids shit, like you get sad. You're like, damn man, that's pretty sad. Like, why are those kids, And then you don't even know that they're getting killed yet. You just know that they're in these camps, and right. And then you're not going to say anything, right? But then you go to your local meetings, right? And there's no higher up Nazi. It's just the local Nazi that you went to school with. And like, he doesn't like you speaking about things, but like, you just can all oppose him. If like 20 of yous in the council meeting jump up and go, no, this is wrong, then he'll be like, oh, but it is what Heil Hitler wants, yeah? And we're like, no, it is wrong, yeah? And he's like, but, and, if one person at the meeting stands up and goes, I believe we are doing something wrong to the Jews, yeah? It is disgusting. And then I go, man, I thought about that before. I didn't want to say it, but now that Friedrich is saying it, I'll get up and I'll be like, it is true. They are mistreating the Jews, especially the beautiful women. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you get up and you're like, yes, and the little cute boys, they should be mine. And they're like, yes.
Give him the cute boys.
Yes. And we all get up and we're like, free the Jews. So that's what I'm trying to say is it gives like things like that. As someone as crazy you may sound to some people within the society, it encourages other people to speak up. So, for example, if I listen to people like Andrew Tate, yes, sometimes he may be wrong, and some people are like, well, don't listen to what he's saying. But what he is given to some boys, which is positive, is the courage to speak up. Whether that's wrong or right, I think as a functional human being, whether you do something wrong or right, if you're a functioning human being within society, you will feel the repercussions of being wrong or the consequences, internal consequences, right? And you'll be better next time. But in order to even figure out that you were wrong in the first place, sometimes you need to speak up.
Yeah,
because if you're just in your mind constantly, you're always right.
Yeah, no, I get that side of it. It's kind of like, I guess it's what you decide to care about. I guess if you're talking about those types of people, right. that aren't, I guess, have no self-worth at all. Right. They need, I get it. Like,
I don't think it's about self-worth.
Well, no, well,
I don't. I think it's contextual bravery. It's situations
because
where
someone like me, right? For me personally, right? When you like for someone, and I understand why a lot of kids, for an example, like Andrew Tate, or in any sense of the world, like will look up to someone and then see that they're speaking about something, feel a certain way about that
resonance,
thing, and want to then speak out themselves and then go and grow. The thing that boggles my mind about that the most is I've done that and I've been that person, but I swear after a certain period of time, you end up just hating what you are because it's not your own originality of like what you've like seen.
Wait, you speaking out the other person's ideas?
Yeah.
I'm not saying
no. But like I'm saying, when you have those role models, the way I've always looked at it is you gain a certain good aspect from them, right? Which is good. Yeah. But I find it like after a certain period of time, you do a 180 in the opposite way. Still be grown from the person that you are, right? Because of who they are, which I think is the positive message from these type of people.
Well, yeah, you don't take everything from a person.
No, but I mean, because I struggle to listen to certain people that I used to
back in the day
because I'm just like I feel like I've gained what I've gained from you, and it's more of I now want to spurt my own like tree from it.
What was that guy's name that used to have those videos and would like review like the top something videos on YouTube, and he was that short guy?
He did the show Equals 3.
Yes.
Ray William Johnson.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
I used to obsess with everything you do.
See, I didn't care.
I used to watch all of his videos. I used to actually really think that the guy was like just really intelligent, really witty, just in general. I looked up to him. And there's years past, I was kind of like, I don't feel that same sort of like affiliation to him whatsoever. What I'm trying to say is, you don't take I'm not trying to say you take their words, you take their actions.
Yeah, no, which is good. I understand what you mean then in that case. I think like is it not dangerous that in certain people? I'm not for this. I think like you should be able to do whatever you want and be whatever you want. But like the argument against that is, what is the protection layer for certain people that are following people that are doing bad things and their actions are bad things? So because that is what the argument against it is, right?
But the argument...
I agree with you. It's like you can't manage it.
That's in every sphere of life.
You can't manage it on a microscopic level.
That's in every sphere of life.
But like, what is the way of going about that? Because if say you're a mum, right? Most mums would say if they knew who Andrew Tate was, they wouldn't probably like their son listening to him, right?
I think, like I said, this is personally what I believe. It has nothing to do with what anyone else tells you. I don't think parents can change anything. I think you have
parents are the only people that can change anything.
They can, and they can't. Because I believe that there's plenty of things that my mum told me that resonated with me and that changed me for sure. But there's plenty of things that she tells me to this day that I will never resonate.
Yeah, but you're at an age where you make your own decisions. No. But if you were 10 to 12...
These are things that she used to tell me from the youngest of age. There are things that she's just used to tell me from the age of 4 or 5 that I remember that I did change, and some things that I didn't change, and I will never change because that's not who I am. But that's fine, and that's
I don't
healthy.
think you were strong enough at 4 or 5 to make that conscious decision.
I was.
If your mum,
it's things like, do you know what it is?
No one is.
But
no one is strong.
No.
If your mum put something in front of you to watch it, you would watch it.
No. But it's not about watching it. It's about it's about resonating with something and indulging in it fully, willingly. So, for example, I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think. So let's just go back to what you were saying before.
What was I saying before?
You were saying that as much as you like can understand that it can be positive, it's a problem when people just continue doing the bad of someone that said something bad.
Well, no, it's the argument against people that have so-called like the limelight on them is that they are a bad influence on people, younger generation,
that's
right?
yes. Okay, so that's what I was going to go.
That is a negative. That is what people would say is.
That's what I was trying to get to was. It all depends on human nature and your own self-criticism and your own, I guess, sense of evolution. Do you know what I mean? Like something that I may have found was fine and cool to do when I was younger in my teen years. Now looking back, I'm not the same person I wouldn't. But if I was that type of person that couldn't evolve, that couldn't be self-critical, then I would be a piece of shit.
No matter what, I guess. Yeah, exactly. No matter what you go down.
So that's what I'm saying. It's all contextual. It's like, let's say, okay, I'll give you the best example.
But I do think
football.
I do think that goes back to your parents still.
Right.
Like if you're not.
I don't think so.
I think
it does for sure. That's your first role models.
No, I think your ability to be self-critical is. No, I think a big part of it is.
I don't think so. I think you're born with self-criticism.
Nah, for sure not.
You are.
Nah, for sure.
You are?
Not. No way.
You are. Animals are.
No, I don't think
you're
so.
biologically wired to realize things.
I think if you
do something wrong and you will know when something's wrong. Even as a child, you know when like you do something wrong, and even if a parent has said no, like even before a parent has said no, a part of you feels a little bit of guilt. You're not sure why you feel that guilt.
Okay,
because
what if you never do anything wrong?
You can still be self-critical.
What if you never do something wrong in your parents' eyes?
You can still be self-critical.
You won't.
Yes, you will.
No, you won't.
Do you know what I'm telling you why you're wrong?
Go for it.
I've been more when I was younger, my mum would have more issues with me crying over shit that she had no problem with, that I had problems with. So for example, I would be talking or would be having a discussion and she wouldn't even be angry and I would say something, and in that moment I would realize, oh my God, this might anger her, or this might make my mum feel bad, but it didn't. She had no reaction. She was normal, but I guilt-tripped myself.
That was past the stage.
I self-criticized myself.
How old were you then?
8, 9?
Yeah, that's past the age of you being told no. You can obviously you can.
No, but it's regardless of being told no. But
if you
you can never have that self-criticism.
If you trust me,
you can live a life without any sort of. There is plenty of people that are psychopathic or socially inept, that they have no ability to understand consequences and be self-critical and just keep doing just like I wanted to give an example of football, right? Because this has nothing to do with how your parents raised you or what they taught you, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say both of us are training in the same place and our coach says tackle someone. We're both going to tackle someone in a different way with a different ferocity.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the best example, because it's like let's say we're both listening to Jordan Peterson and Jordan Peterson tells you be a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he says, right? We have two implications of that.
Yeah,
we have
obviously.
two different reasonings of that. We have two different ways. Someone might go, be a man, go beat these fucking women. While someone goes, be a man, protect these women, right? So it just depends on your own self-criticism. It depends on who you are, and your own self-criticism isn't built just by your parents. Yes, your parents are your foundational role models. But what happens when you have no parents?
Your role models. So what?
What if your role models aren't real people?
Then you'll gain a lot of weird fucking attributes.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you're not. Who?
Okay, I'll give you a great example. Do you want me to give you a great example
Go
that some people will be like, that's actually really fucking smart, and some people will be like, that's so nerdy and gay as fuck.
Mm-hmm. If you say anime
characters like Goku, think about how much
anime
character like Goku has transcended
I know
through the generations.
But that's a positive role model.
Exactly.
But if you have a negative role model your entire life, like from the get-go.
Yeah, but I didn't have physical. Okay, my male role models, none of them were these perfect, like my granddad was like a good man to me, but he was very quiet. He kept to himself. He wasn't as physically emotional. My uncle,
Yeah, and you would have learned a shit ton from him.
Yeah, but
you would have learned a shit from him from a young
attributes.
age.
They all had attributes, but none of them had full fatherly attributes because my father wasn't around. So
Yeah.
the characters and the people that I looked up to were actually cartoon characters that were men.
Yeah,
So
which
to
is
me, but that's what I'm saying. It's all contextual. If I wasn't self-critical enough, then I wouldn't have these people as role models. Then I wouldn't because I think if you're, it's hard to say. I feel like the more self-critical that I became,
Okay, I'll give you an
in
example.
a positive way,
Say you're a kid of a super celebrity,
right?
and you don't do anything wrong your entire life. You get what you want. You always get what you want.
Okay.
We know certain people like this.
Right. Yeah.
You always get what you want. That you don't do anything wrong for a long period of your life.
Right.
How hard is it to be self-critical?
I honestly, I'm being honest with you here. I honestly think it's hard. I honestly don't think it's like something that you gain.
I think no. I'm not saying.
I think
it's
your
something
self-criticism is embedded in you. Like for
No,
example,
no chance.
no, it for sure is,
No
dude.
chance.
When you see siblings, my self-criticism is so different to my brothers.
I know. I'm
My
not
brother,
saying that.
and we have the same parents.
I know. But still vastly different childhoods.
Yes, but also no, because my mum raised us both the same way. My stepdad was
Where were
away
you-
most of the time, just like my dad was away. So he wasn't raised by his dad either that much. Yes, my stepdad was more here and not absent like my dad, but there's still a difference. Like, for example, I'll give best example. When you look at me and Nicola, when you look at my uncle's sons, they're only 2 years apart, and they have the same dad, same mum, same environment.
I agree. I'm not saying- I'm not saying
the
it is,
older
but
one is extremely self-critical and dramatic, like me. Cries over small things when, like for example, my cousin, the older one, he would cry when his parents were arguing, right? Blaming himself. So he was being self-critical about something that was happening with his parents, while the younger one would get angry at them and be like, why are you idiots arguing? At his parents. So clearly there's no self-criticism in him. He doesn't believe he's wrong wrong in any way. While the older one feels like his parents arguing is his fault. So he's self-criticizing. They have the same parents, same environment. Yes, they're 2 years apart, but within, like, that's what I'm trying to say is I think your self-criticism can increase or decrease for sure, but I think you're honestly born with it.
No, I think. Well, I mean, you're born. I get everyone's born with a different palette, but majority of it will be taught and the growing up you have and how you see it.
Fair enough.
I think like in your surroundings, because like I think it's like I agree. Like my sister and me are completely opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
And you guys aren't that far apart.
and
you're both lesbians.
The childhoods we went through were definitely different. You know, so like I think it's like I can clearly see where my sister growing up has become the person she is, and I can clearly see my growing up where the person I've become.
Yeah.
And we both came from the same starting place, but
Exactly.
she had a whole period before me, which would impact, which I can see how it impacted differently to my first 5 years and her first 5 years, which I can see. That's what I'm more saying. I just think the first 5 years is the most like important first 5 years of your life. You are that molds 99% of who you are.
Well,
as a human being.
you know what it molds the unconscious things that you can't change so easily.
Yeah.
It molds the way you interpret the world. It molds the way you reflect the world. It evolves the way your emotions affect you and when they come up and why they come up.
It evolves your first instinct, and if you like, a lot of people live on their instincts. A lot of people just.
I wanted to. Speaking of that, sorry. Did you?
No.
More to it. I wanted to ask you: do you ever think you can gain back your childhood innocence?
Nah.
You think it's gone forever?
And it's not natural to do so. You could fake it. You could live it if you wanted to. Like I feel like it's pretty easy to act innocent.
No.
In my opinion.
No. Innocent in a way of like, how can I explain it? Not innocence as an attitude, innocence as a perspective. Do you know what I mean? Like let's Look, you
Again-
know how when you
again-
go outside in the world. Okay, no, I'll give you an example.
It's quite psychopathic.
It's
quite
almost like
psychopathic.
no, it's not. I don't think it's psychopathic. It's
If you
you're
were to do
looking
it,
at
yeah,
the
it would be.
world. You're looking at the world with no context. Do you know what I mean? If I go outside in the shops now, right?
Yeah.
And I see a fully tatted up, really skinny guy that looks like, he's had a bit rough. First thing that comes to my mind is meth head, right?
Yeah.
If I've never seen a meth head, all I see is a skinny guy with tattoos.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Your biases are like coming in no matter
Right.
what.
That's the type of innocence I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Or maybe better than innocence, purity, I guess. Purity, not clarity. Purity, like a perspective purity. Do you think you can regain that?
No, I think you're always gonna have like
Biases?
You're always going to.
But can you be stronger than this, like bias, in terms of continually habitualizing, trying to be purely perspective, like having a pure perspective to the point where eventually, like, you're clearing out these, like, when you do see a person, it's not the first thing that comes to your mind. It's in the back of your mind. It's so quiet, just like, when you're like, you might have like intrusive thoughts that you might have had before when you were younger, and then eventually you dealt with them, so now they don't come up anymore.
I think you probably can work on it to a degree. I think working on it though is kind of a strange thing because it's like you're working backwards. Like, because to not think that the first time you see that person, you have to start thinking that to see that the first time you see him, right? You have to, for you to change and to subconsciously change how you subconsciously feel when you see someone,
right.
You have to think that. To be like,
no,
you have to recognize it, and you have to realize what you're doing.
You have to not think.
No, I know, but to get to that stage, you have to understand your thinking of that.
Right.
And for that, most people don't even get to that stage. But
how many people do you think are aware of their biases of the population in the world?
Well,
let's say functional. Don't count kids, right? Let's say how much of the population that is like a conscious, I guess, late teen.
I'd say
onwards?
10% of people are conscious to about 80% of their biases. I'd say about 60% of. I'd say about 80% of people are probably conscious to about 20% of their biases. Mm-hmm. And I'd say maybe like that in between then fluctuates between those rates.
Right.
And I think the max you can be is probably 80 to 90% like conscious of your biases. You don't think
you can be conscious of all your
No,
biases?
100% no. 100% no. Never.
Fair enough.
And I think you're arrogant if you think you can.
You can. Yeah.
Because
sure.
I think...
Well, you don't, because they're unconscious.
Yeah, and I'm not... And like, because a bias can't even be... isn't even a bad thing.
Right.
Like, for an example, like, and you look at it in terms of tribalism, in terms of, like, things you support. Like, if I support the fucking New York Yankees...
fat asses.
If I support the Yankees, no matter what, I'm going to think the players playing for the Yankees are better than the players over there. And they categorically couldn't be. Mm-hmm. My best player, I'll think, is better than a lot of other people's best players. And
it's like me and you when we used to have the argument with the Ronaldo Messi.
Exactly. There's no matter what, there's biases, and and that's a very conscious bias. Mm-hmm. That's one of the most conscious biases you can have, of saying, oh no, I'm obviously just saying that because I'm a fan of this person and I like their work or like that, that, or wherever. But there can be the most unsubconscious bias about, I don't know, a nation that you don't even think about. You don't even think about it, but to then become conscious of
I'll
what
give you a good
think
bias. Ready? What do you think of Kazakhstan when someone says Kazakhstan?
I think of
Borat.
I didn't even know he was from Kazakhstan.
Really?
I'm not a big.
That's the only thing I know about Kazakhstan.
I think of
which is insane because this is a character that someone's invented.
Spelled similarly to Kazakhstan.
Okay.
There's a weird like monkey looking dude, or like he's a big kangaroo looking dude that looks like he's spelled similarly to Kazakhstan.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, but like, I get what you mean. Like if you think of Mongolia, I think of Dirty Hills.
I think of Genghis Khan raping heaps of women.
See, there you go. So, but like, it's no matter what. I think there's gonna be biases towards anything. Like for example, I'm gonna have the most bias towards my mum, and I don't think like I'm conscious of it. But there'll be even more. There will be someone would say something very true about my mum, and I could be like, no, it's not true. because I would just be completely
Yeah,
gone by it.
yeah, yeah.
And that's something that would probably never be able to escape my mind. There's something that I never think about ever. I could think there'll be a game that I think only nerdy fucks play, right? But I'm not. If I'm conscious and wake myself up, I don't give a shit about it. I don't actually think nerdy fucks play. I think they probably enjoy it. But my bias is then thinking I've made that perception of that game, and that's what I'm going to do. And to be 100% clear on every single bias is impossible. You can try and be as clear-minded in the moment as when you're thinking about things,
right,
and try and be retrospective about it. But you won't ever be able to be like,
I think
the
thing that you can do. I think
the
thing that you can do is not like you can have bias. You just don't let the bias take the helm.
I think you
don't let the bias lead you to the sea.
I think you probably you need to keep bias away when you're making decisions.
Right.
Is that at the end of the day is what you should probably do.
Is there anything that you wanted to bring up? Because I have a few things that I wanted to bring up.
Not really. Did you watch what's it called? Those fights?
The KSI ones?
Yeah, bro.
No, I haven't. I
didn't either. So yeah.
Congrats to KSI.
Well done.
Speaking of another boxing thing, Jake Paul and Tommy Fury have confirmed a third fight,
is it?
which still isn't happened. Yeah, which is soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Should be good.
Who do you think will win that?
Because
I saw Joe Rogan clearly. Joe Rogan had one of those YouTube dudes on, or like one of those TikTok dudes on, and those TikTok dudes were like trying to make fun of Tommy Fury, and Joe Rogan like shat on him. Like was like,
right,
no, dude, like come on.
Yeah,
like,
he's a professional boxer for years, and his brother's one of the. But that's like it's like it's like that's another thing is like saying his brother, his cousin. I know. It's like. Yeah, look, I know that they're family. They might have similar genetics, but they're different people.
They're watching clips. I agree. I don't know.
I wanted to bring this up. So news.com.au posted this thing. So this is an opinion piece, right? This is an article. The title of the article is "Men's Skirts Signal End of Awful Trend."
Yeah, okay.
And the caption of the article is, "In a world filled with Andrew Tate's viral bullshit, this refreshing trend signals a new era." And what this refreshing new trend is, what we're looking at, is a gentleman, which is a guy called Christian Wilkins, which is currently an it boy that pushes back against boring gender norms.
Gender norms are very boring.
A guy that is apparently a homosexual male model. Male, I guess he's male for now. I don't know. I don't know what he's
an it. He said he's it. He's it.
He's the it guy. No. But you know how they say that person's the it person.
Do they say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're that guy. That's the it girl or the it guy. Yeah. So you're like, everyone's following you, which is so fucking funny to say about a guy that. Who's Christian Wilkins?
Yeah, I don't know. But some person would be like, who is your fucking favorite fighter? The person that likes Christian Wilkins will say that about you.
But Christian Wilkins is definitely not the it guy, because I feel like if someone is the it person, I need to know him. Like everyone needs to know him. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
like when they were calling Justin Bieber the it boy.
So, okay, that's fair.
100% was the it boy. Okay? Christian Wilkins, I apologize, bro. Just because you're fucking gay doesn't mean you're the it guy. I hate this new trend. I don't agree with everything Andrew Tate says, but the fact that they're bringing him up and in defense using a guy in a dress and being like, he's breaking the gender norms. He's wearing a dress.
How popular do you have to be the it guy? Like
bro, you're pisses me off. What? Why was Young Thug not the it guy when he wore a full fucking sick dress on his Jeffrey album? Why was he not the it guy that was breaking gender norms? Why? Why is Christian fucking Wilkins a male model that honestly, Christian, good jawline and shit. But otherwise, you're not that good, bro. You have the size nose of me. You have the same size nose of me.
Yes, he kind of looks like me and you put together.
Right? He kind of does, which isn't great. You know what I mean? And then the bitch that wrote the article, she said, men who slam other men for wearing dresses are scared of being attracted to them. Oh, dude. Fuck yeah, look at those abs. Look at how nicely that dress goes along his hairy chest.
That really annoys me when people make stupid claims.
And look at this bitch. Look at this bitch. You are You are so fake and ugly. It's this lady that's just fucking plastic.
Do you know what really pisses me off is when someone says like I'm scared of being attracted to that man because he wears a dress. Like
Wouldn't I be more attracted to him if he was shirtless?
No, but like I'm attracted to a woman just because of what
her
she's
dress.
wearing. Like,
right.
It's like, oh, wow, like, that.
Do you know what I'm attracted to? When you take the dress off.
Do you know what I've been seeing TikToks recently of this certain trend of girls where they go, it was just the most bizarre thing where the girl goes, I'm going for a really natural look today.
Right.
And then continues to put the most amount of makeup on
ever, yeah.
And she's like, her skin is literally glowing.
Glowing, right.
Like,
but that's natural.
No.
That's the natural look, though.
But how?
It's natural, bro.
How?
But isn't that funny? There's natural tones of makeup, right? Which is so insane.
It's not. It's like the opposite.
Have you ever seen someone get plastic surgery and they're like, I went for the natural look?
Yeah.
And it's like,
what? That would be...
So, the only reason I brought this whole dress thing up is because I have nothing against Christian Wilkins. I apologize, Christian, that I'm coming at you this way.
He's the it boy.
Hey, yo, I'm not coming at him.
He's the it boy.
He's the it boy. I have nothing against Christian or the fact that he wears dress. Good on you, Christian. I just have issues with these articles. And these articles and the people that write these articles are normally the saddest people alive. Because usually when you're a fucking, you're writing articles for the news.com and Daily Mail, your life is like, it's dictated by drama and retardation and retardation. And
do you think they're
retardation?
Do you think they're just trying to make their money though? Like,
yeah, they are. But bro, just like I feel like there's no, like, dude, like being a journalist. I feel like that was like a prideful thing back in the day.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I mean? Like you went to university for it. I had respect for journalists that went into like dangerous situations or went and spoke to people that no one else, like that actor that turned into a journalist, went and spoke to El Chapo. No one else spoke. That's scary itself.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going into this cartel thing. You're about to release this information. He knows. So if anything goes wrong, you're dead.
Yeah,
the fact that is
I know what you mean. And,
like,
it's hard to tell someone, right? This is the issue though. When you're a journalist and you're doing those things, which is probably, I'd say I don't know how much of a percentage of journalists that go into journalism thinking, I want to be that kind of journalist. I want to be pushing the boundaries. I want to be that. To get to that position where you can do that is incredibly hard.
Right.
Like, so when you go into journalism, it turns into that cesspool where you're then crowded by these huge companies,
right?
Which are then, that's your gateway. That's your gateway into the scene. But then you also have to do these sorts of things.
You don't.
No.
I understand.
No, but how many clicks do we have to get?
I understand. Yes, I understand.
That's what it is, bro.
I understand that aspect, but it's like have some fucking self-worth.
But
something like let me explain to you.
If they're trying to get money, if they're trying to be paid because they have a family to look after,
okay,
are you gonna be independent and not make any money, or are you gonna work for a company,
honestly,
shell it and try and get some money so your family survives?
I understand that perspective, but let me explain to you like this: if something is my passion and dream, I'm not gonna let it be tainted by some bullshit. So if I'm a person that is prideful and loves journalism and wants to achieve something through it, I'm not going to go and be a journalist for the Daily Mail. I'm going to be working another different job until I'm able to get the journalism that makes my heart pump, that makes me feel like I actually wrote something that people will be...
Do you think your perspective changes if you got people to look after?
For sure. Look, dude, I know that there is definitely scenarios, but at what point do you get where you're writing articles like this and you're like, man, my life is a fucking mess.
It's the same as any person going to work, doing a 9 to 5.
Yeah, why don't you do another job that doesn't ruin your passion? I feel like, trust me, this is coming from a person that went into a field.
Most people don't have a choice, bro.
Yes, you do.
Nah,
instead of doing journalism, which is your passion, you can't go work in a warehouse?
Oh, you mean like?
Yes.
But like that's gonna be as mind numbing as that.
But at least it's not ruining what you love, because I feel
I know what you mean.
The reason I stopped going to graphics design, like I quit my graphics design major, was because I started it because I loved drawing. I loved art. But the more I did the graphics design and the drawings and what they wanted me to do and checking and marking it, the more I lost my love for drawing. Because it was like, now that got ruined.
I was going to say, do you have work soon?
At 4:30, so
Okay,
we
so
should be good.
you're fine.
I have one more article that I wanted to bring up. So,
but but I also do think like I think a lot of people don't like it's hard for certain people, and it's easy sitting here because I'm the same as you. Where I'm like, if I'm not enjoying something, I'm just gonna leave. It's not worth my time. But like, it's very hard to tell someone, oh, that's maybe like the dream is journalism, to quit your journalism job because you're not enjoying it. And go do something else, and then work independent. Like it's hard for
I'm not saying quit it. I'm saying
it's hard for
fight for it.
No, it's hard for certain people to think broadly and be like, no, I'm gonna enjoy myself a lot more if I just have a normal job and fight independently. It's hard for people to think that way.
I'm not even saying fight independently. I'm saying stay in that company, but be like, hey, can I write something else?
Or
fuck saying, can I write something else? Go out of your way. Look, you're a journalist. What does a journalist do? You don't just sit there and be like, hey, boss, what should I write about?
Yeah, I get.
What should I write? Oh, you want me to write about Andrew Tate but spin something in it? Yep, cool.
What?
No, go out of your way. Find something that's interesting. That's your fucking job, dude.
Do you think they have that much freedom, like those type of?
Some places do, regardless of the freedom or not. Like, how do you gain freedom? You don't just go, oh, please give me freedom. You fucking fight for your freedom, bro.
Yeah.
And this is another article. This is why I hate journalism now. In one of these bikini snaps, she poses with her strap down so her followers can see the difference between her natural colored skin and her tan line. Ready? This is what the article is about. One passionate Aussie said that influencers promoting tanning culture, which was actually disgusting, suggesting they could promote sun safety behavior instead. Tanning is trending on TikTok, driven by Aussie influencers. Very sad. If only they understood how bad it is.
You gotta get you away from the internet, bro.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done.
I don't know where you find this shit.
Facebook. I'm fucking done, dude. No, but this is the reason I live for.
You're on an old person website in the first place,
I live for shit like this. I live to see shit like this because I love coming on here and shitting on it and opposing it. Ooh, sun tanning. Ooh, it's dangerous.
It is pretty dangerous.
Don't promote it.
I won't lie, it is pretty dangerous.
So if I post a fucking photo of me if I'm at the beach, look at him, he's promoting unsafe swimming. He's not between the flags.
Because you can't
He's not between... I don't see any flags around where he's swimming. I don't see any flags. Bro, what the fuck? This is what I'm saying. How is this an article?
Because you're on Facebook, bro.
No, but how is this an article? They're talking about...
Yahoo lifestyle, bro. Like
dude, that's the fact that these motherfuckers are getting information from TikTok video comment sections and being like, this commenter that has nothing to do, that has no life, that means fuck all, that has never been anything, that's probably a fake bot account, said this, guys.
And we gotta listen. Well, do you think any of your comments have ever become an article?
I hope.
I wonder if that's actually the case.
Hope.
You know? I don't comment on things anymore.
No,
I never comment on things. No offense, but like, don't comment on shit. Hey.
I have no time.
Like,
no time for that.
Yeah, like
no time for that.
I respect the. To be fair, do you ever think you've written a negative comment? I think I have probably.
Yeah, I have. For sure.
Yeah, like, I've probably written some hate comments before. I've definitely written more lovely comments.
Yes, same.
Definitely.
I have 100% though shat on people in statuses and Twitter and like Twitter posts.
Oh, for real? You've been on that cesspool.
Oh, dude. I one time wrote a
Twitter,
whole paragraph
you're sad.
terrorizing a girl at our school one time back in high school days.
Yeah, okay.
Because she came out with this whole like post like sob story thing.
Okay, so
and I copy pasted it and changed some of the words, and at the end, instead of being like, "What? Because I was dealing with this," I'd be like, "And I can't believe because I'm such a fucking sick cunt," and all of this, like, you know. So it's taking the piss. But that's the only thing.
Okay. I don't mind that because you know them and like it's a community thing.
Yeah, and later on, she was like, yeah,
I'm
I was
also
over-dramatizing
mean you
shit.
see something because Twitter is the worst thing in the world.
Right, it's cesspool.
I've definitely one of my favorite things sometimes to do is go into Twitter like replies and see people's channels.
Yeah.
So sometimes because there's a shit ton of porn on Twitter, I will go down to like someone who he will just like reply to some girl will probably show like half a titty and be like, do you want me to DM you the rest?
Yeah.
And then I go down to the bottom and then some guy named John is like, yes, please. And then you go onto his channel, like on his page, and he is obsessed with just a certain like subgenre of thing, and it's constant porn, constant porn. Then but porn is just spiced in between it.
Yeah.
I love reading some of that sometimes.
Right. Well,
just to understand
the only comments
just to understand the
crazy thing is
lows.
you want to hear this. This is why I might actually be insane. The only comments I ever read nowadays is Pornhub comments.
I don't mind Pornhub.
Because I fucking love when I'm about to have a wank and then I read a comment saying, "It's all right, bro. You don't have to be here right now."
Yeah.
And I still bust.
Just support.
I still bust happily. So recently, I don't know if you've seen, but Blueface, you know what Blueface is, right?
Yeah.
And his girlfriend Christine, you've heard
The
all
crazy
about
girl.
her.
Yeah.
Yes, they got a TV show.
Oh, really? Okay. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Good on them.
And basically, the TV show is about their relationship.
Isn't his mum like
Ready for this crazy thing next?
Is this about the mum?
This is about the mum and,
Yeah,
and her family.
Yeah.
This is the title of the thing was.
Sort of it.
Blueface brother wanted all smoke with Blueface about their mum and sister. So what actually happened was, apparently Christine, Blueface's girlfriend, beat the fuck out of Blueface's mum and sister.
Oh wow, she used to be like a baddie,
Athlete as well, like a ninja warrior athlete kind of thing.
Did you see her back then?
Ooh.
But she's like she turned into like
dude.
Crazy.
In this video, actually, I'll show it to you just so you can see, and I'll try to turn it down. So no, do we have to turn it down? It's an Instagram video from a preview of a show.
Does that have music?
No, it doesn't. It's just.
I've no.
Oh, don't tell me they deleted it. No way. Oh no, it's there. His own brother's about to fight him, and he's defending his girlfriend for beating his mum and his sister. So basically what's going on, just to give you guys a little view, is they're on opposite sides of the table. The brother is with the mum and the sister, while Blueface is there with his girlfriend. And basically Blueface is defending his girlfriend and almost having a fight with his brother, like shaping up to defend his insane fucking girlfriend, which not only has beaten the fucking hell out of him. There's another video I saw recently. She smashed in the show.
All those reality shows are bullshit, so I don't care.
Look, I usually agree with that. I swear to God, I usually agree with that point.
And why would this one be any different?
Because, dude, there's been like multiple domestic allegations.
They're all
fuck the show. That's not scripted. Dude, this bitch broke a glass bottle on top of his head and then tried, instead of cleaning out the glass with her hands, guess what she did?
What?
Guess what she did? Which was, just goes to show how clinically insane this girl is. She started vacuuming and then put the vacuum on top of his head and was trying to vacuum out the glass off his head.
Yeah, I can see that being scripted easily.
Dude, it's not. Look, usually reality shows are scripted, but the reason they got the show is the same reason Kai, the hitchhiker with the fucking hatchet, was going to get his show. They're insane. Yeah. They're not good for each other. And people want to show how they will fucking either one of them will die or they will crash and burn together.
Yeah, but like it's still the show will always be scripted. It's by a massive corporation. They're not just going to let them go off the hooks.
For sure, in some sense, but I think they're already off the hook in terms of like what happens behind the screen, and then whoever just hears about what happened behind, they'll rush there and be like, "We need to record the aftermath." That's the case usually, I think, with them, because they both have like. Have you seen photos of his face before, where she beat the living shit out of him?
No, I don't pay attention to Blueface, if I'm honest.
His face was blue. He's actually, I'd call him purple face in that fucking photo.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Dude, wait. She got hands.
Yo, she definitely does.
She got hands.
But like, I don't think it's all gonna be real. I think it's as fake as the moon landing.
So that's her face, right? But that's fucking. his face. Look at how pumped his fucking eyes are. Dude,
Yeah.
she fucked him.
Bro, yeah, that was just after his fight with that TikTok.
But then apparently he did this to her, so like, you know, fair square.
It's just the same. He just had a boxing fight, bro.
Like how many what's like for you, what would cross the line? Like what does a woman have to do, like no matter how much you love her, what does she have to do for you to break up with her? Like would you, let me ask you this,
Not much.
if she hit you once in the face,
What like out of an angry outburst?
right, and let's say she had a proper reason. Right. Well, there's never a proper reason to hit someone, but let's say it was a close.
Yeah, I was
proper
being
reason.
a dick. Like, I was just doing like I was out of order, and then she hit me, sort of thing, like proper.
But you were proper out of order. It wasn't just like you were fucking like. Let's say you threatened her. You scared the fuck out of her, right? You weren't gonna hit her, but you were like screaming in her face.
Even if I'm just being a dick, like I don't like if like a prop like yeah, I get what you mean. Like
She just went whoosh.
Yeah, like I came home and like took out
Yeah.
my-
You
that's
had an
fucking-
outburst at her. She hit you.
Yeah.
Would you break up with her?
If I instigated it, I think I'd find it hard to break up from that.
Okay. What if the case was you you started arguing with her about something she did, and she retaliated by hitting you instead of being like, "Oh yeah, I did it. Like, let's have a normal conversation."
Yeah, I'd probably be like pretty.
Break up with her.
I'm pretty like.
Forgiving?
No, I'm not. I'm pretty fucking like loose with the bullets.
Loosey goosey.
I'm loosey goosey. If you fuck up once, sometimes I'm harsh, man. Like sometimes you got to be perfect to last.
To stick.
You know, like I could be with you.
I'm
5
surprised,
years.
man. I must be pretty perfect.
No,
I must be pretty perfect.
If
I haven't got hit yet,
Oh, you haven't.
and I started on it.
Like if you fucked me, because like a good example, if you fucked me over once, I just probably wouldn't be your friend.
Yeah.
I just be like, oh, yeah, see you
fair.
later, then, which is I'm like, cool. I don't need to give you like I don't know why second chances are a thing in
No.
in relationships.
I'm a
specifically.
very second chance type of person, but there are things that I don't give second chances for.
Yeah, I'm not
Like
at all.
if you ever laid your hands on my like mum,
Yeah, obviously.
she's
Oh, Bryce, I understand where you're coming from though. She was kind
a
of being
bitch.
bro.
Yeah, she's a fucking bitch.
She's kind of being a bitch.
You should have called me. I would have thrown in another hit as well.
She did what?
She did.
Hit her again.
Did you kick her?
No, I like.
If she cheated, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd cheat with me. Cheating is like as soon as you do it, no matter even if it was like even if you're like I was drunk and I just kissed a guy on the lips, we were just fucked. We didn't hook up. I'd be like, that's your guy now.
Yeah, I would just. It would feel like I. You just.
Why did you need to do that?
I just look.
I
at
hate
it
when people make excuses and they're like, "Oh, I'm just so fucked. We used to be close friends. We used to do this all the time." It's like, so
Yeah, you're not now.
she used to be my ex-girlfriend. Doesn't mean I'm gonna fuck her again.
Or babe, I just followed.
Babe, I've already seen her naked. It's like I'm just like it's like rewatching like anime.
I thought I was in 2016 again. I thought I was in 2016.
I was so drunk, like perception. You know how they say alcohol takes your perception of time, babe? I swear to God, it was 2019 again.
I don't like. I'm really easy to piss. Like I have sometimes a harder time, like with the like girls or people after the fact that I've ditched them because I'm so dead to them. Like when they're like, how can you be like this? I'm just like that.
Right.
Because it's easy for me just to go, oh cool, see you later. Like I'm very easy to like just go away from you. I can cut off very easily.
See, for me, it really depends. For people that are really close to me, I do normally have an affinity to be like, fuck, like, you know, I'll still keep my good memories and stuff. But I also have that thing in me where once I have decided that I no longer see you as a person that exists in this world, you don't exist.
That as well. Like, that's the problem, right? I'm going to London soon, like in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and I say it to people's faces all the time. Like if someone says, "Oh, well, you know, stay in touch," it's like I don't know. I don't think I will. And I'm honest to you. I'm like,
and
well,
you know
bro,
what I
like,
hate? I hate that they act like they're gonna like they're like. I hate that some people are like, well, if I moved, I'd stay in contact with you, and it's like, are you sure?
And
Are you fucking sure?
and it's just like it doesn't even matter anyway because
You're
like
starting a new life, dude. Like, come on.
it's also just like I don't like, I don't understand the ignorance to be like, I'm like a good person to stay. It's not even the fact
Are we like family?
But
Motherfucker, I don't even talk to family.
But it's not even that though. It's not the fact that I'm like doing it because I don't think you're a good person.
Yeah.
It's more of the fact that it's like, it's difficult. Other people exist.
Yeah.
I'm not as valuable to you as you think I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like I'm not a saint. I'm replaceable in your life. I barely speak to you as it is now. Like, I don't and I'm like a 10-minute drive away from you.
Right.
Now I'm gonna be a 24-hour flight.
Yeah.
If like I'm not as valuable to you as
that's the thing. Once people start losing something, is when they start valuing it.
Yeah.
You know, when they're scared of being like fuck, like, because they realize they're like, and you know what, the people that, I'll be honest, and I wasn't gonna say this because it's gonna offend some people, but the only people that told me things like that, where they're like, oh, are we gonna still like stay chatting? Are we gonna like, oh, we're gonna stay together? Like, I hope, like, da da da. All of those people, they don't want the best for me.
Yeah. Also, like, I think
They don't want the best for me.
Yeah.
And I can tell, because the people that I value as my closest friends legitimately weren't like, have not mentioned a thing.
Yeah, that it's encouragement.
Have not mentioned
It's
it.
encouragement. It's always, oh, good luck. Like, fucking,
Yeah.
you go, like, yeah.
They've never said, stay messaging me, or I hope you message me, or I hope we can still stay friends, because they know. They know that if we do stay friends, hurrah. If we don't have time to talk to each other, have no reason to talk to each other, they're fine. Because it's usually the people that have some sort of unspoken envy or jealousy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's either like, I wish I was in your boots, or I don't even understand how you could move away from all of us.
Or like, I guess I'd had the strength to do what you're
the
doing.
same.
And it's just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, there were lots of people like it. And I think it's...
I swear to God,
ones.
I know I can think of 2 or 3 people at the top of my head that did say the same thing to me. Like, oh, we're going to stay talking and stuff. And I know those people don't wish the best for me.
It's also just like, I don't talk to you anyway now.
Right.
Like,
so what makes a difference?
Yeah, like, I barely see you. Like, I see you once every like 2-3 months.
Well, it's that thing of like, that person is still around, so you have the chance. But like, I think what people want is to have the reassurance that they can still do it.
It isn't the idea. It hit me the other day of like because I'm very much of I value fresh plates. Like, I think
Same.
like a blank canvas is like huge to me, because realistically what it does, and I've said that, I think I've said it on here before, weirdly I get more anxious over people I used to know. Like, people that I like, for an example,
right? Because you don't want them to dictate the situation based on your old self.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if I'm walking through a supermarket and I see someone I used to know, I get way more anxious than some random dude.
Right. Same.
So and
because now I have to, if I do see them, I have to chat up a conversation.
Exactly.
It's never a good conversation.
It's either that, or I'm kind of like walking away,
avoiding it. Yeah, avoid it.
And I don't like either situation. Yeah. Like, and so I explained it the best when I moved even in Perth to south of the river, when I knew no one, the free feeling of just walking anywhere, of being like, I feel nothing, is amazing, because you can act in any way. Right. Because everything you do, you're blank.
It's a fresh palette.
You're fresh, and you don't know anyone, and you can be how you want to be, and you're not thinking, oh, I got to avoid this, I got to do this, because I don't know why it's like that. I'd actually probably need to look into it for like. Would
you say that is in that? That desire for change and having a new palette, would you say that's similar to the desire of having a pure perspective, of having innocence once again?
I think so, yeah. Like, I think it's also like,
there's an innocence to a new situation.
I think it's also about development and learning as well. Like, but that's just like, it's yeah. Moving
to London, right? Yeah, you have some predisposed ideas of what London is like.
No idea.
But there is a purity of like, you won't know until you get there.
Yeah.
Which, while you're here, someone's like, oh, you know what the people in Morley are like? I don't know everyone in Morley, but I can give you a rough estimate of Morley people.
Exactly. It's your bias coming out, bro.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
While if someone's like, do you know what the people in fucking Westchester are? I'm like, no fucking clue. But someone from over there can tell me what people from Westchester are like.
Exactly.
Or their bias of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's good to know. And like, the freeing feeling of just not being like, it's weird because like, even if I did something here, word can get out, like, and word then spreads because this person knows this person knows, and it's all this connected.
Yeah, it comes around.
There, it's like this nice feeling of word will get out, but word is by me.
Right.
And that's what I learned. That's what I like the most. Is like, because I remember I learned it from Charles Gambino, when it's like everyone will know everything about me because I told them. Right. Not because other people told them.
Well, it's that 8 Mile, when in 8 Mile.
Yeah.
At the end, when he's like, I am white. My friend Rabbi did shoot himself. Like, basically, like, you free yourself through your own vulnerabilities.
And
like,
that for me is so much easier when you know no one. And I love that. I love that feeling of just being you, expressing you.
Well, and I think people find that courageous is when you're vulnerable in front of them. Because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about. Fucking 48 days, I think now it is.
Shit.
So I'm going.
I've got a lot more to wait for.
That's it. We're gonna do some Zoom pods.
Zoom pods, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting as well.
This might be the last pod we do from this location.
Yes.
So,
fuck, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we have to say goodbye.
This is where it all started.
This is it was in.
They didn't look like this, but this is the room where it all started.
Yeah, and it will change now.
We used to have 3 people at once at first, and then we didn't.
Well, that was never on.
That
YouTube,
was never
though.
uploaded, but that was the original.
Yeah.
That was the original.
Yeah.
What's your
Sunday select? My Wednesday select will be
Wednesday select.
Rose Golden by Kid Cudi.
Mine is Use Me by Bill Withers. Thank you for listening. Peace and prosperity.
Peace. Fucking love that fly.